It's been at least a week since I posted a video. I think I didn't post any this past week. I only posted one the week before. But I want to give you guys some updates on what's been going on. One thing, it's been way too cold to be riding a motorcycle. We've gotten snow. In fact, we just got snow again last night. And there's all kinds of crap down on the road, so I'm not taking any of my bikes out. But I have been working in the garage. The 70 is pretty much done. I'll show you it in just a second. There's two little things left to do on it, and I'm just waiting on a couple of parts to come in. But the big updates are on the SV650, and that's what I want to show you right now. Alright, so you may notice that the headlight is hanging out of the front of the 70. The reason for that is I have two little bulbs that are out in here. One that's actually the backlight for the speedometer. The other one's the high beam bulb. Had to special order those. They should be in hopefully in about 2-3 days. And I'll get those installed and then put the headlight back in. And this bike is done. One more quick thing. I think on the last video I posted, I said the speedometer wasn't working on the 70. It wasn't. Took the front wheel off, took the little gearing thing out of the hub there, made sure it all meshed up properly. Works great now. It took 5, maybe 10 minutes to fix. So everything else is good on it. Alright guys, we're back in the garage today. Sorry for the noise again. I got the heater running. Anyway, just tried out this paint stripper for plastic. Sprayed this on this piece of the SV. I guess it's been like 4 minutes. Supposed to let it sit for 10 or 15 and then start scraping the paint off. It's definitely lifting the finish off of there, so we'll check back in here in about, I don't know, maybe another 10 minutes. Back in the garage today. Those are the two pieces we stripped the paint off of yesterday. Got most of the rest of it sanded off. We've got the front fender up here right now, trying to get the rest of it stripped off. Then we'll move on to the tail section, and we'll see what else we get done today. Just to let you know where I stand with the SV, these are all the parts that have been sanded. Probably need just a little bit more sanding before they're ready for primer. And I have not started working on the tank yet, except just sanding there a little bit, but that's coming next. Biggest update on the SV, shout out to my buddy Danny, Rex Road. He came over today, and for about 2.5 hours we beat on this thing and got this hole beat back out, or this dent beat back out fairly well. Still got some more work to do on it. We'll be working on it next weekend. Alright, so updates on the SV. All of the body work has been worked on. This, obviously this is part of the tail section. It's been primered. This is the other part of the tail section. It's been primered. This had some filler put on it. That turned out looking great. Here is the front fender. There was really nothing wrong with any of that body work to begin with. It just needed to be sanded down and prepped. It's all ready for paint. The two big things that needed to be worked on was one, the front fairing, the upper front fairing, had a couple of cracks in it, needed to be repaired. And two, you probably remember that giant dent in the tank. Here is the front fairing. There was a crack down through here, there was a crack down through here, there was also a small crack over here. Most of it was repaired with a little bit of epoxy. This area actually had to use fiberglass, but you can see I've got 3 coats of primer on there now. This thing, I think there's one little spot that I'm gonna have to touch up with some sandpaper. Otherwise, it's ready for paint. Now the big problem on this bike was the tank. The tank had a giant dent in it that needed to be taken out. You can kind of see the progression here. We ended up having probably one afternoon, me and a buddy of mine beat on it for about 2.5 hours. Got it pretty much ready to go, and then we spent, I don't know, another afternoon and put 2 light coats of body filler on it. Got that rubbed down. Also took some small power sanders to it. And now this is pretty much the finished project, or pretty much the finished tank. Obviously it still needs paint, but it's got the 3 coats of primer on it. Still needs to be just lightly sanded, just a little bit. But dude, I am super excited for how well this tank turned out.